Hello everyone, my name is Christian. Welcome back to Tekpon. Today our guest is Jan, the head of product and co-founder at Avokaado. Hello,
Hi, hi.
nice to see you again. We met at How to Web and decided to do a podcast for you guys. So please tell us, what is Avokaado?
Avokaddo is a private digital workspace to automate contracts and documents throughout all company functions to save like 80% of time, reduce human errors, and mitigate risk when negotiating, closing, and managing contracts and agreements. And we are doing this by building a new document format. We call it ADoc. That is a data-friendly, workflow-based connected document to replace all your PDFs and Word documents. And the document you can create in the no-code environment in a browser. So we are kind of trying to get rid of all the useless PDFs that hide all the information, all the business critical information inside.
So you are killing the PDF. Yeah.
Hopefully for the contracts, agreements, and documents. PDF, I didn't have anything against PDF when it's used where it's supposed to be used, like
Yeah.
presentations and all of that stuff. It's transferred in PDF perfectly.
What did you say are your top three features?
Top three features for sure. It's number one. We offer our customers a private workspace, means that your business critical data is not shared in the public cloud. This is like a very big thing for us and for our customers as well. Second of all, it's clause-based contract engineering, meaning that our contracts are actually a set of data points. So it's not just a plain document with a plain text. So every clause you can refer to, every clause has ID, you can kind of figure out what clause means what, etc. So this is like a second thing, and for sure we have out of the box signing options right on the platform. So you can have the full life cycle of the contract from negotiation to signing and to managing within your private cloud.
And please share with us some use cases of Avokaado.
Oh, we have a lot of them, and
We have
some
time.
of yes, some of our customers are actually figuring out such amazing use cases that we're just wondering how they came up with it. But the most simple one, probably anyone can relate to, is an employment agreement. For example, when you hire someone, right, you need to prepare an employment agreement. It's most of the time it's template based, so not much to change there.
Mm.
But if you do not use any solution like Avokaddo, you need to like open your Word, right? Start drafting some stuff, then send it over to a candidate via email as a PDF or as a Word. Then they provide you with some kind of data like bank account numbers or like personal ID codes, whatever needs to be filled in into that. So it takes a lot of time. There are a lot of errors, and it needs to be run by a legal team or by someone to check the document if anything changed or everything fine. In case of Avokaddo, it's super simple. You just like created employment agreement from an automated template, means that we create program the employment agreement the way it should be there. You just share a link with the employee. Employee can visit the link, fill in all the data. HR can review this data, then send it for approval. Then afterwards, sign it right on the platform, and employer and employee, they both get the signed copies of the agreement automatically. And then you can also basically share all the data from an agreement with your payroll software or with your HR software, etc. So it's like a connected document that's built in the cloud. This is like the most like simple one, the most simple case. There are a lot of like very sophisticated cases. For example, one of our customers actually they automated the whole process of preparing documents to register to incorporate a company in Poland. It means that you can go and with a click, just like drag and drop and clicking stuff, you can create all the documents necessary
Wow.
and sign them on the platform to basically submit to the government and create registry of business. There is no need in any lawyers whatsoever on top of that because everything pre-programmed. So it's like from very simple cases to very sophisticated cases.
And what is the pricing for Avokaado?
We start with the annual subscriptions, so it's a software as a service, basically, and we start from 5,000 euros per year. It depends on how many documents you want to process and how many seats you want to have. By seats, I mean people who can create those, automate those contracts, initiate workflows. And it goes like, depending on your company size, it goes to 20, 30, 50,000 a year.
And are you the first company to do this, to innovate in this space like this?
For
Or
sure.
what's your view on the space, on competition, on?
Yeah, that's a great question. For sure, we're not the first one. For sure, it's a pretty crowded market already. There are many players in the market, but we see ourselves solving the problem at its actually at its root. By
Mm.
root, I mean like stop creating Word documents and PDFs. Let's design a file format that supports everything for the modern contracting world. By everything, I mean mostly data and connectivity. So it's like a data document and it's connected to other systems, etc. So we kind of trying to um, run forward with this like flag in our hands, saying like okay guys, we just like we need another way of working with contracts. And for sure
Yeah.
some of the companies are trying to do that as well, from a different perspective a bit. But as I said, it's not a blue ocean. It's already closer to red ocean, but we have our competitive edge there as well.
And what do you think is that competitive unfair
uh,
advantage, or yeah?
Oh, yeah, it's like it's just like an advance. First of all, as I said, we are selling private workspaces. So basically, you're not sharing your data for businesses, especially for medium, large, and enterprise size companies. This is like must have. They are not ready to have and share the critical business data, what contracts actually are, within like accessible for everyone cloud. For sure, this is focused on this like document format because our long-term vision is about being able to standardize, to put this document format as a standard for the industry. For sure, like open source, you can build something on top of it, so you do not need to have Avokaddo to open the document signed within Avokaddo. So that's our like long-term strategy as well. And the third thing, of course, we are very focused on local markets. So by local markets, I mean that we started in Estonia. We have customers all around Central Eastern Europe, Nordics, etc. And our strategy is actually building this like local experience in both like interface translated, but also legal engineering expertise, having like people in Poland, having people in Austria actually creating and automating those contracts, being able to do that. That's the third thing. And for sure, we are really heavy focused on workflows. So this is like one of the biggest features for the next year in our roadmap is allowing actually to build any type of workflows on top of your contracts, on top of ADOCs.
So the name of your new document is ADOC.
At least for now, that's a work in progress. At least for now, Avokaddo documents ADOC.
Avocado
So
doc. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, we there are other ADOCs as well, but we still considering like internally we use ADOC, but how it will go into the public when we release it publicly, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Okay, okay. And what's the story of Avocado? When did the company start?
Our company actually was founded quite some time ago in 2016 in Estonia, and headquarters are still here in Estonia, in Tallinn. And actually, company was founded by Mariana Hagström, who is now a CEO of the company as well. And Mariana spent 10 years in managing a law firm. And while she was doing that, she realized that this contracting, creating contracts, managing, negotiating, and basically doing anything around contracts, it kind of it has a lot of this routine work that shouldn't be done by legal professionals at all. I
Yeah.
mean, like everything can be standardized. Everything can be, not everything, but majority of those things can be automated. And these high risks, high value custom contracts, it's like outside of our scope. And there is like, okay, you can negotiate them in Word and send them over because it's like a huge deal. But majority of the contracts are actually low risk, low value contracts that can be automated. And at some point, Avokaddo started as a tool where you actually can create those automated contracts and then
Mm.
sell them also to others, either to businesses or to other people. So it's basically
Ah,
a
okay.
marketplace.
Yeah.
It was a marketplace. But then we realized at some point that the marketplace, it's a very complex business model to kind of to start growing and scaling it. And we switched to software as a service when we are not focused on like selling contract templates at all. We are not even doing that anymore. So we provide those legal professionals and law firms with a space where they can kind of create those templates and share with a kind of either customers or internally. And that shifted our focus heavily from law firms because we have for sure law firms as a customers, but it shifted our focus into the businesses and these legal departments within the existing businesses that are actually facing those problems on a much bigger scale than law firms.
A really great story. Yeah, so from marketplace to SaaS. Quite
Yeah.
interesting. And when did you join the company?
I joined company. I was introduced to Mariana last year by our mutual friends and mutual friend and Avokaddo advisor, and he introduced us. And I joined as a part-time product advisor because Mariana was a solo founder with a huge expertise in legal field, and I brought to the table like 20 years of experience in building digital products and managing high performance teams. And we spent some time actually trying to figure out if there is a chemistry. Do we kind of feel the same about the industry and about the challenges people
Yeah.
having with contracts? And sometime at some point it clicked, and I joined as a late co-founder earlier this year. By late co-founder, I mean like company already founded, but I brought this experience and joined as a co-founder and head of product. And this like tandem of us moving forward already now showing very good results because like I can't have this kind of expertise Mariana has in the legal field, and but I have an expertise in building products, and that's combining together. It's actually bringing really cool results.
Really happy for you. And you're just two co-founders now?
Yes, Mariana is founder. I'm a co-founder, and for sure we are looking in expanding not like founders, but we are looking to expand our team in key roles. They for sure in growth, in sales, in engineering, in all the aspects of the business. But probably maybe at some point we'll add another co-founder. I don't know. Time will tell. Time will
Yeah, yeah.
tell.
And how big is your team right now?
We are quite a small team, 14 people, 1-4. Most of the team is spread between Tallinn, more business development and customer support, legal engineering. Tartu is an engineering team, and yeah, we are very remote team, meaning that we work from anywhere right now. But for example, now I'm in our headquarters in Tallinn, but last week I was at home working from home and from Tartu, where we were part of like one big program in Estonia. So yeah, we are just starting.
That's awesome. And I love to hear our backstory before Avokaddo. Everything that you
My
did starting with
my
your
best.
career.
Okay, yeah. So from things worth mentioning, like from 20 years old, I started my first company. I mean, like really started my first company, and in 7 years, I brought it. It was like web design and web development boutique, and it was one of the most popular companies in Latvia, at least by the time. And I brought it from 0 to 1 million in revenue in the like local and not that local markets as well. I like sold it. I invested in several startups as an angel. Lost this money as always, as all the first angel investments, right? Then I actually with a good friend of mine, we founded first startup accelerator in Latvia called Igloo Business Lab. where
Wow.
we invested in kind. So we didn't invest money in cash, we invested in kind, we invested services to pre-product startups, helping them to build the product, to validate it's on the market. So we invested in 6 startups. So one of them, Branch Track, is doing great and growing and having big customers. After that, I actually switched to a bit of enterprise world and enterprise management consulting. I was helping like big established companies to initiate those internal digital transformation processes. So basically changing the culture within the organization, changing the approach, trying to push this like lean startup methodology in.
Mm.
And I was working with several big companies, including from fintech and retail and yeah, and manufacturing as well. But then, yeah, again, I jumped back into entrepreneurship by joining Avokaddo last year. So that's
Wow.
my like very quickly.
You have a lot of experience. Wow. And are you still looking to invest as an angel, or are you still as an advisor? Or are you
Uh,
full-time focused on Avokaddo?
right now, I'm full-time focused on Avokaddo. I want to commit at least 2, 3 years of my time to build something massive out of Avokaddo because the problem is acute and the problem is huge, especially on an international scale. So I see, especially with my background, I spent quite some time in B2B software as a service companies. So I feel like this can be something worth investing 3 years of my lifetime into. And then, yeah, then probably exit it at some point.
Okay. And do you have any piece of advice for founders?
For founders,
Or for
build
starting companies?
first of all, it's never about the product, it's about sales and marketing. It's saying me being product guy, right? So never build product. Try to sell it first. I mean, validate it to some extent as far as you can. Second thing, do not underestimate the power of the team and especially on the founders level. If you do not have a chemistry, don't go for it. There always should be a chemistry between founders. Yeah, you can argue, yeah, you can have conflicts and arguments, but if there is no chemistry, you will lose a lot going forward. So yeah, those are two, and for sure build your company around culture and hire for culture, not for like big shiny CVs and resumes and experiences, because at least in my experience, it didn't make sense to hire because you have a huge tech knowledge or tech stack as an engineer, but you are a very toxic person for this particular team because you might like shine and flourish in another team, but for example, like in our team, you're just like super toxic, and that kills everything within the startup, especially
Yeah.
when the startup needs to run super fast. And for sure, from like 40 plus years old, I can say one thing that burning midnight oil isn't a solution. You should always take time to rest, recover, recharge your batteries. Always. Do not work 12 hours a day. Work like 8 hours a day. Really, really. Try to do meaningful work instead of like pulling long hours.
That's awesome. And I think maybe even to younger people.
Sure,
Maybe it's
for anyone.
evergreen, yeah.
Yeah, for anyone, because it always ends with a burnout. It always ends with health problems, emotional and physical health, both sides of the story. And it never kind of disappears. Like it's just like get you accumulate this stress within yourself. And at some point, for some people, it might be like 25 years old. For some people, 30, 35. But you'll get those problems super visible, and you'll see them, and then you'll regret of what you did. Because anyway, all the people, all the scientists around the world already proved that anyway human being can be productive for longer than 6 to 8 hours. I mean,
Yes.
all
Yes.
other stuff is just like useless. You just sitting there doing trying to squeeze out last percentages of energy out of your brain, but it doesn't make any sense.
Absolutely amazing. And I have just one last question for you. What's your favorite software?
Software. Oh, this is a good question, actually. What I enjoyed, I actually, it might sound weird, but I enjoy Coda. I really enjoy Coda because it's like no code environment where I can build things. I can build my internal products like without like engineering resources. And I believe that they really revolutionized this database building and app building in no-code environment, together with Notion and other alternatives, so etc. So that's what we are planning to do with the contracts as well, with our ADOC, or anyway, how it will be named in the future.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to tell us today?
Uh, I would say that be ambitious about anything, because like for example we planned to grow like 2 times a year. Now we kind of said screw it, we want to grow next year 4 to 5 times.
Wow.
And we want to keep this pace at least for like 2 3 years from now. And we see that when you put these ambitious goals, you are actually kind of ambitious stretch goals. You are actually your mind unconsciously trying to find those like shortcuts how to get there. If you put like okay, we need to grow like 20% a year. Okay, if you're a huge company, like 100 million revenue company, sure, it makes sense. But for startups, put ambitious goals in front of you, and then even if you won't reach them, you will be much far down the road than if you put less ambitious goals.
Exactly. I think it's something familiar with the 10x rule. Maybe you're familiar with it.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for being here, and I wish you all the best with Avokaddo.
Thank you, Christian, and have a nice day.